Today we're going to be sharpening knives with the Lansky Kit. Today we'll be using the standard 3-stone kit with the regular alumina oxide stones. This kit features a coarse stone, a medium stone, and a fine stone. Additionally, I have separately purchased a very hard, very fine sapphire stone for final edge polishing. After the stones, we'll be using a leather strop. This strop has been charged with some kind of buffing compound. I'm afraid I don't remember which kind. And the strop itself comes from the woodcraft store. Instead of oil, I like to use plain water on all of my sharpening stones when I can. I find that it causes less problems with stone glazing and is easier to clean. The knife we'll be sharpening today is a Benchmade Griptilian model 552. This one is the Doug Ritter RSK Mk1 version, developed by Doug Ritter of equiptosurvive.com. And this is the newer model of the Doug Ritters. It's made in M390 steel. The first thing we want to do here is take the coarse stone and reprofile our final edge angle. Today I'm using the 20-degree setting on the Lansky stone, which gives a very fine, very thin cutting edge. If you have a cheaper knife with a lower grade steel, the 20-degree edge may be too thin and you may find that you have problems with edge chipping, or it may just get dull very quickly. However, with high-end steels such as M390, the steel is plenty strong to hold up, even at that thin edge angle. We all know that the thinner you make a knife, the better it's going to cut. However, that usually comes at a sacrifice to the strength of your edge. But with our new alloy super steels, like the M390 that this knife is, I know that it's tough enough, and if it's got a good heat treat, and Benchmade's heat treat is very good, then I can grind the edge of this knife thinner and make it cut better, and it is still plenty strong for the kind of work that I want to do with it. You will note that I am not using the Lansky Kit in the typical way. According to the instructions that come with the kit, they would have you hold it with the blade pointed towards you and push the stone towards the blade. To me, this seems like a good way to get my fingers cut. Instead, I have developed a pistol grip style, which keeps the blade pointed away from me and also tends to keep my fingers on the stone above and behind the cutting edge of the blade. I should also mention here that I'm using this circular motion to sharpen the knife rather than a straight motion, because with this kind of kit, it absolutely does not matter. The kit clamp sets the edge angle, and once your knife is locked in, that angle is fixed. It doesn't matter if you sharpen your edge with a series of straight strokes or if you use this circular motion like I'm doing. I find that the circular motion is much faster. I should also mention that in this early stage of sharpening, where we're reprofiling the edge grind, I'm pushing very, very hard with my stone. I'm cutting away as much metal as possible, and it's okay to push hard. Good steels like M390 can take it. They're not going to chip out on you. Go ahead and make that stone work. After about 10 minutes with the coarse stone, our new edge angle is set, and it's time to switch over to the medium stone. The technique I'm using for the medium stone is very similar to that I was using with the coarse stone, only this time the pressure I'm applying to the blade is much, much lighter. At this point, I am not so much grinding away metal as I am smoothing out the grind marks left behind by the coarse stone. After just a few minutes with the medium stone, it's already time to switch over to the fine stone. With the fine stone and later the sapphire stone, we're going to polish the sides of the main edge bevel. That is, the surfaces right above the cutting edge. Once we've gotten to this stage in the sharpening, our knife is already fairly sharp. It's got a good working edge, and if you needed to, you could go out and use it just like this. Finally, we've got to the sapphire stone. The secret to using this stone is actually to push very, very hard. We're polishing the sides of the edge, and this stone has almost no grit. It's very, very smooth as glass. If you place a light pressure on the sapphire stone, you could grind on your knife with it all day and get nowhere. To get that mirror polished edge that everybody wants, use the sapphire stone and press very hard. After the sapphire stone has polished your edge bevels to a mirror shine, the last thing to do is take the knife out of the clamp and move over to the strop. Stropping a knife is different from stropping a razor. With a knife, it's still fairly thick and fairly tough compared to a straight razor. This means you can strop it very hard. Don't be afraid to apply good firm pressure when stropping a knife. Now that's a good sharp knife. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.